Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So in this video I will showcase Parasect, and my first opponent is Tim Holbro and he leads with Shadow Machamp. So this is a lost lead for me, but at least I will reach 2 charge moves before he reaches his second cross shop, because it only takes 9 turns for me and 10 turns for him. So I will be able to put his Machamp fairly low if he doesn't shield this. And then I can farm down with Parasect. And Parasect is a very interesting pick for Great League, since it can one-shot azumarill with solarbeam, and it absolutely walls meganium, and it destroys defense deoxys. And especially meganium, I believe is going to be much more common later, because it's a TDO monster, and it can defeat both Galarian Stanfisk and Azumarill, which are the most common Pokemon right now. And just look at how much damage the Solar Beam did to Galarian Stanfisk. So even if that's a lost matchup, it's still not hopeless if you have energy or shield advantage. So now I just make first I caught the first Rock Slide with Whiscash, and then I count to 5 more Powder Snows before using my Weather Ball, so that he has to invest his shield if he wants to fire off his charge move. And then his last Pokemon is Azumarill. So this game is over at this point, since 2 Energy Balls will just defeat the Azumarill. Next game is against the Blatman, and he leads with Sonic Castform against Whiscash, so the lead is obviously extremely good for me, but both of my Pokemon in the back are double weak to fire, so I absolutely need to win this switch advantage. So I charge up to 90 energy with Whiscash before switching out, so that I have something to deal with the Castform later, and then I'm fully committed to use both of my shields here to maintain switch advantage if it comes down to the Azumarill firing off 3 Ice Beams. But here I use my Weather Ball just before he reaches his charge move, and then he doesn't fire off his charge move, so either it's just some lag for him that he didn't get to fire it off, or he was just aggressively over farming. But now he has a Abomasnow, which is great against both of my Pokemon, so I will just send in Parasect here to sacrifice it. And you saw how fast I reached X-Scissor. It just takes 4.5 seconds to reach the charge move, which is basically the fastest in the game. Only Flygon with Dragon Claw and Mudshot is faster. So it's equally quick as Shiftry, for example. And then I will use my last shield here and one-shot the Abomasnow with my own Blizzard. So that was some spicy team from my opponent too. Next up in game number 3 I go up against Gregged, and he leads with Azumarill. So this is fairly even, but I actually need to get out of there since my backline is way too weak to steel types. So I just switch in Abomasnow and baits out his steel type, and then due to lag I don't reach my charge move. So this is why it's so frustrating to play GBL right now, because the lag is just so often deciding games. And then I will let this go through and he tries to bait me. So I'm still in an okay situation, even though his Abomasnow or his Registeel should have been much lower. And then I switch in Parasect, and he has a Stunfisk in the back. So this is a difficult position, since his Azumarill has still got a lot of health and it will be able to deal with both of my Pokemon. So my only chance in this position is to hit a Solar Beam on his Azumarill in some way. So what I do is I invest both of my shields in Parasect and charge up a lot of energy before switching into Whiscash. And then, sadly, he managed to switch at the same time. But then he makes a mistake There's absolutely no reason for him to shield here, but he shields. Maybe because he thought that he has 2 shields, why not use them in the end of the game. But I have almost 100 energy on my Parasect, so I will just be able to bait the last shield and then quickly reach the solarbeam. And it really comes down to the wire, because now it's a race to the charge move, and with basically 1 or 2 HP left, the Galarian Stunfisk reaches his charge move. So if I had gotten a free fast move instead of him, the entire game could have been flipped, but that's just how GBL is right now. And yeah, I guess it was well played by my opponent too, rocking the double steel type strategy. Next game is against Brutal, and he leads with Galarian Stunfisk, and this is, in my experience, the most common lead right now, the Galarian Stunfisk, so that's why Whiscash is doing so well, and he safe switches into Defense Deoxys. This is also a good matchup for Whiscash, but it's even better for Parasect. So I'm switching into Parasect, and I will be able to just either demolish this Defense Deoxys or take all of his shields. And that's exactly what happens now, since even though I'm spamming my charge moves, I get both of his shields, and I love the flexibility of a shield advantage, so I was just going to let my Parasect go down there. And now I have the switch advantage still, and a shield advantage. So this is an amazing position, and this will just not be enough to KO his Stunfisk. And this is likely an Earthquake, but I still want the shield advantage, so I still have some flexibility. And his last Pokemon is going to be the Tropius, and he tries to pull a nice move there by baiting out my charge move so that I don't reach the Blizzard, but it wouldn't have mattered. Even though it was a nice try, he would still be KO'd by Abomasnow. Next up is a game against Esleiru, and he leads with Scrafty. So this is an interesting matchup, because I can't really switch out immediately, even though I do like the Parasect versus Scrafty. But if I switch out, I might get hard countered, and then Abomasnow would have to face the Scrafty, so I stay in for a while and just ship down here. But as I stated previously, I still need my Whiscash for the steel type in the back, so at some point I need to switch. So I chose the time right after my second charge move, and then I farm down with my Parasect, and this is where Parasect gets to shine, because it just deals so much damage, and then it gets to a second charge move so quickly, and then it almost even gets to a third charge move. So now I'm in a great spot, and I expected my opponent to just check first what I sent in, so I was going to send in my Whiscash and then switch to Abomasnow immediately and catch the Grassnot, but he just went straight for Grassnot. So I will just have to trust that Abomasnow can finish the game with a big energy advantage, and he could possibly have won against pretty much anything that isn't a Registeel in that position, or Fire type of course. And with that much extra energy it could possibly even defeat a Galarian Stunfisk. But Azumarill is easy to beat in this position, so that's it with the 4-1 run with Parasect, now in the early season of Season 3. Feel free to leave some suggestions of what I should try or showcase, or if you want to see more meta or tutorials or team building videos, and thanks for watching!